to Team Fortress
Oh.
TV. You're here for the start of the ETF2L Season 19 with me, CommanderX, Sim on the stream, and kaidus joining me, despite his displeasure at missing the football. We're here to watch the first fixture in Prem this season, which is going to be the Nuts and Rollerbladers, aka BK, against LDC, the French team. It's going to be on Badlands and Process, and I think they're going to start with Badlands. Hello, kaidus.
Hello.
Are you looking forward to the start of another season? Watching the French team again?
Yeah, it's a pretty good matchup to begin the season with. I mean, I said last night I'm fully charged. I kind of wish it came a bit later, because I think the potential it has won't be realized till later on, but I mean, it's a pretty good way to begin, so let's do it.
Yeah, I think I watched a little bit of, I think you watched some as well, of LDC warming up on Exxon stream, and they crushed Furbo Pandas, which maybe isn't worth reading too much into, but they crushed them particularly hard on Badlands. And I think we saw BK in the Invitational play on Badlands, and we weren't, I don't know, I wasn't overly impressed. I just remember a lot of failed Badlands last pushes, mainly from BK.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember a whole lot from the Cup. I remember that I saw BK play both maps, and obviously we didn't see anything of the French roster, but it is a pretty common thing you see where you get, very strong teams, whoever they are, the very strong teams always tend to be the strongest on Badlands. Kind of like the differences tend to, well, sometimes the differences show up more there than other places, and I think that's going to be especially true for the French team because they're not a team that practice an awful lot. I mean, they've actually played the last couple of nights in a row, so that's more than I could have hoped for. But I think maybe we're going to see a case of that for them.
Yeah, just to keep you updated on where we are, we've got all 12 players on the server. They're pretty much ready to go. There's just some debate about the nickname rule. Obviously, all Prem players are required to use the nicknames they have on ETF2L. It looks like everyone's agreeing to that rule, except for Demul, who is currently tagged up as 91. Just to take you through the rosters quickly. The BK roster is what we saw in the Invitational. Nutson on Medic, AMS on Pocket, Zappis moving from Scout to Roman this season, Rib in Demoman as always, and then Zebo and Herpy on the Scouts. Meanwhile, on the French side of things, we have Bull on Medic, Exxon on Demo, Tech on Pocket, T-Mac on Roma, and Demul and Flippy on Scout. So I think it's pretty even matched really across the classes. The only one that I guess stands out for me is, like in the class matchups, is Rib against Exxon. I think Rib has a pretty clear advantage there, particularly, I think we were watching Exxon's mids on Process earlier, and they weren't, I don't know if they just weren't good.
They were okay, but they weren't. You'd expect from a little bit more from a player at this level. But I would actually disagree and say that I agree with that point you made between Rib and Exxon, but I think the other classes kind of, for the majority, kind of go in favor of LBC. Like, if you're going to compare Bull and Knudsen, I think you really have to go to Bull at this stage, given Knudsen not really a medic by trade. And likewise for AMS, obviously he is a soldier by trade, but we're going live, so I'll talk him later.
Ooh, here we go. It looks like the French team are going to start on Crips. They're going to be on red as well. Going here to the first Badlands middle. I expect both demos to be pretty quick. It looks like Rib's going to come through house as normal. Exxon's going to try and match him, but slightly slower. Going to eat that first sticky as well. Exxon's going to get jumped now as well. He's going to get taken out straight away by Zappis. He just forced the trade. And now there's a soldier behind on Nutson, but Nutson's going to surf away. And that early frag on Exxon has given BK so much point control. It should be a pretty comfortable mid for them.
Yeah, Zebasai, I think he won a 1v1 against Flippy on a, I don't know where that was, but he won a 1v1 somewhere against Flippy, kind of, because the Zappis actually traded in the end for Exxon, and Exxon not normally that vital on these mids, because he doesn't receive a lot of heals, so I think the 1v1, the Zebo one's also a big hitter on the mid.
He does a lot of damage to the soldier. Tech will finish off AMS, but Nutson's just run away, only on 86%. But Zebasai and P are just going to drop down and crush them in trash right now. And now Nutson's moved forward, but there's a lot of pressure coming out right now. Nutson doesn't have Uber yet, he's going to go down without Uber.
99%.
And just when it looks bad for BK, it becomes a really even 2v2. Looks like Rib's going to try and get on the point. Exxon's still trying to challenge it. The Scout's with him as well. Rib's trying to force him back, but I think Exxon's going to get the health back and challenge this again. Zappis is going to try and get cap time. He's taken down, and Rib's just going to have to try and back out of here with his life. And it looks so good for BK right now, but it just fell apart.
Yeah,
with
like
Nuts and stuff.
BK just literally lived up to their billing in every single way. Just there, like a big, aggressive, confident mid, nice flank from Zebo, shut down the crits, and then Nuts and the combo showing the inexperience, letting his make down 99%.
Rib just got sniped as well, like he didn't get any heals from Nuts, and I thought they were safe, and Nexon just sniped him with a sticky. But I think Zebasai has got behind a one-on-one-on-one. He's going to draw 2 players' attention as well, but BK aren't really putting any resistance up on this mid with Rib down. So it's going to be pretty comfortable retake.
The angles don't really favour you unless your demo's in the fight there, so a nice sentiment from Zebo, but not on this occasion.
Yeah, Bullet's back on normal Uber as well, and I think Zappos is actually coming up behind Bull right now. He's going to get straight on top of Bull, launches him away. Bull's down to 20 HP. Zappos is going to jump again, but Tech's going to take him out of the air. Bull's super weak, and they're still fighting this, but the French guys are getting all the frag. Scout's going to come in now, going to finish off that soldier. Zebasai's going to take the medic as well. He's got a frag in lobby as well. Now it's just for Scouts for the Frenchies. Flippy's really low. Now Demul's by himself. He's getting chased out. And a really nice play from the Scouts of BK once again to sort of salvage that for their team.
Yeah, I mean, credit to Rib as well. Like, if it wasn't for him, Happy wouldn't have got this frag on the Scar and Spire, and Spire would have gone. They would have won the fight, but they would have got the cap, so it's a good job for Rib to stay alive there.
Yeah, now BK getting on this mid without any heals, and it looks like LDC want to challenge this. Rib's going to back off, but he's pretty weak, so he's one of the Scouts. They're going to try and chase his town, but they haven't finished any frags. They actually just end up trading 1-for-1. Now, AMS is trying to make his way in, and here comes Rib on the respawn. Zappos is jumping in as well. They're forcing BK back here. BK don't have good health. Bull's detached from him, I think, and the heals aren't really being spread around the team. It's all just going to Tech right now, or T-Mac even. T-Mac's going to go for a bomb off this. Nuts is in the air, goes for the air shot, connects to the air shot, takes down Zappos as well. And just when it started looking good for BK again, T-Mac takes it all away. Exon's going to defend himself and his medic. And the Scout's actually going to run for his medic now. Bull's in trouble. Herpy's going to take it out, but he's going to finish Exon as well. Here comes Zebasai as well. The Scouts from BK turning it on again. P's now stuck in a 2v1 on not a lot of health. He will go down. And I think LDC will get this cap before anyone arrives, but this is kind of what I expected to be honest, sort of really messy back and forth exchanges.
Yeah, that was a really back and forth fight, and it's like the actual fight itself was still not over, but like I really thought that the French had that, like, because of the heals advantage and this sort of thing, but then they just gave it up, but then they get him back in, and now it looks like, oh, Nutson's gonna die again. I don't know how many times he's died already in this game, but it's more than you'd expect.
Yeah, and now BK are still kind of just got a bit of presence on mid, but they have no heals, so it's just a matter of time before LDC come in here. There is a soldier hiding shithouse, but he's only on 60 HP. He's going to jump around, go for the medic, but Bull hasn't committed yet, so he's just going to bait it out the aggression from AMS. We're going to finish up a bunch of the other frags as well, and there's not a lot Rib, and I think that's Zappos can do. And they're just going to have to regroup with Nutson, who has yet to start building his charge. So big old 60% advantage for Bull right now. I don't know if that will come into play with how often these medics are dying, but LDC are going to get all over Spire right now, and BK have not really any position to fight this from, even though Rib's going to have a little peek for it.
No, nothing's happening either. Zappos is just spamming from resub. That Uber's going to go, like, he's going to get to 100, and they're going to, it looks like they're going to forward hold, but Nutson's dead again, so this is looking pretty bad for... Oh, Zebo gets a 2k, just it was looking pretty dire.
Over last. Yeah, they've only just popped the Uber as well. It's just all about frags now for LDC with this Uber. They're going to actually even just wait for point. The point goes down, and after a very back and forth fight, LDC come out on top. But like, honestly, for BK, if the combo can just hold it together a little bit more stably, the Scouts are doing most of the work for them in this match so far. They just need a little bit more stability at their core.
Yeah, like they are giving things up they shouldn't be giving up, and challenging things they shouldn't be challenging. It's a problem for them.
And now we're going to see what looks like LDC are stacking shithouse right now. Soldier and Scout both going to jump round. The Soldier's for distraction, the Scout's coming in for the big plays. Actually going to give a medic right now. Nutson goes down. His flank is doing a whole lot of damage. They've lost both soldiers, but LDC should be able to finish off most of these frags despite BK's aggression. They've got the heals at choke, and surely they're going to want to come back in off this, even though BK get the cap.
Yeah, I didn't see a whole lot of that mid. The workmen showed up to collect their tools. No drilling today, but I think it's a clean up still. But yeah.
I thought you were making an analogy then when you said the workmen came to pick up their tools.
No, not quite. Why is it even happening now?
AMS is behind. Meanwhile, they're actually going to pop off LDC's Uber. The force is going to come in. AMS is still behind, just, I guess, killing time right now. He's going to kill T-Mac as well. And BK might challenge this as a player advantage. Exon's completely isolated now, not counting him forward for heal. Zappos will get picked off, but Rib's just walking forward, pumping out damage. Tech doesn't have enough loaded, and he's separated from the heals now. Tech will go down. And Bullness needs to get out of there. Scout's going to have to do a lot of work now, Dimul, just to slow this Scout down with the aggression. Forces that Scout back with some nice damage, and Dimul should be able to get his medic out of here.
Yeah, kind of A bit let down for BK there. I'm surprised how easily they just let ball walk out. Like Rib just came around the corner spamming stickies like there was a weak scout and a medic alone. He could have jumped into. It doesn't matter. Zebaside's doing it all. Fuck Rib. He doesn't need to be here.
Yeah, there's a soldier trying to get through onto Knutson to try and even that out, but he gets shut down by P. BK will eventually get this cap after P dropped down to protect his medic. And now we see the reverse, BK with a full Uber advantage going into last. Exxon's trying to put up some forward stickies, but they just bait out the death. And I think AMS wants to take this straight through bottom right with his scout. He's going to walk in, there's not a whole lot of resistance, they pop through the door anyway, Scout goes straight onto the point, Exxon's not set up, he's going to get taken down at the point, and pretty easy cap there. Exxon wasn't really set up for holding him up the point.
I was going to say nice play by Exxon, because even though it looked like nothing, he actually bought time for Bull to spawn, not get Uber or anything, but to get buffs on players, like his little trap at the front, just bought that little bit of time, but then he attempted like a really complicated play above the point. Like I say complicated, but like it's time consuming to get up there, so those two plays don't go together, so it's a mistake from him.
Now it looks like LDC on this next mid after it's tied up. We're going to go for that shithouse stacking. And here comes the soldier on the scout, syncs up aggression. Nutson's in the air. He's going to go down to 5 HP. He will be taken down. Demul's followed up and cleaned up those frags. They're all over him. Meanwhile, Bull is separated, just trying to arrow people from choke. This is allowing BK to clean up a lot of the frags. And now Bull's actually getting flanked. He doesn't know about it. He's going to get cleaned up. Flippy's the only one left alive. And, really nice. I really like that shithouse play that LDC are pulling off, but it's really leaving their like Exxon and Bull really exposed. It doesn't seem to be like BK just aggressing as well as them.
Yeah, I didn't really catch like the positioning of the combo, but it's weird to me that Exxon and Bull are being kind of left together. It's not really something you normally see where Exxon is just sitting on the heels on a mid. Normally he just kind of he does his damage at the start, and then he's just kind of fodder, and they put the heals elsewhere. So I'm not sure why it's going like this, but maybe they need to reconsider and go back to this approach.
Yeah. BK have taken over top lobby here as well, and thanks to Nuts and dying early, he's got himself a 40% Uber advantage, and BK just going to hold really passive. I imagine they'll go in with sort of a scout and heavy class Uber here through top left, pretty standard. No off classing from LDC, they just seem to want to take this as it comes.
Do you mean apart from the pyro that's there off classing?
Oh right, sorry, I missed that. They're going to go in bottom right though. They're just going to play for the point instead, but the Uber staying on the scout, getting a lot of cap time eventually once it comes up. And LDC don't seem to have an answer to this scout standing on the point right now with the Uber being flashed on and off of them.
Yeah, this is one of the downsides of the pyro. Like, if you don't adjust your positioning for the pyro, you end up with top right stacked. So they're stacking like 4 guys top right at the moment, and that's 4 guys that are instantly out of it. Like, there's nothing on the point, there's just a few stickies, so they're just completely out of the fight, and all of them are just dropping on the same stickies from Rib.
Yeah, we're going to see this shithouse to play again. Here they come, trying to crush them. Ball again, just stuck arrowing around. Hudson serves really far away, but he's sort of conceded a lot of positioning right now. Rib's trying to spam stickies up top, but even though they did a lot of damage to LDC, they can't capitalise off that with their position. But Ball did go down by someone. I think Zappis made a play.
Yeah, Zappis made a solid play. He actually got... He didn't get Bull according to my kill feed, but he did get 3 other kills on that mid, so I don't know. Oh, he did get Bull. I'm looking at the last push. Whatever.
Oh.
I'm a good
but
caster.
yeah. So even though, they've had to concede mid, but BK now have a fully red advantage. They're going to try and get in without using it here, and LDC aren't really set up for this. They might just throw a soldier at it, but really strong positioning from BK right now. Knutson does his best to catch all that spam bow and goes down to half health, but LDC are just starting to back off now.
Yeah, I'm not sure why BK are opting to cap here. They could be really chasing on this one. Like, they're going to have to... They're going through resub now, but they could have just taken yard for free with like a really out-of-place close hold from LBC.
And they're going to pop through. They're going to pop through in underneath here, and AMS is going to have to take this really deep. He might be able to find X on, but he gets taken off him, and now Knutson and Rib are committed really deep. Car crash of a push from BK. The flank are going to still try and cap the Spire for them. Or did Zebasai clean up? It kind of worked out because Zebasai cleaned up. That was really weird. It looked like the combo from BK went way too far, and now Zebasai's taking a one-on-one on last. He's going to finish that.
That's ridiculous. He was about 30 HP at the start of that 1v1. Dimul was full.
Dimul throw it.
Get fucking flipped back. That kid's a bad kid. A bad kid? Bad skin. But no, like,
bad kid.
Yeah, like, I'm really surprised that they like, you see how happy they are to just pop and go for it. Like, they're completely content to do that. So I don't know why they had Ubik while they were capping mid. They should have just made this motion a lot earlier. I mean, it works out in the end thanks to like disciplined play from Happy and clutch play from Zebo. But yeah.
Yeah, the Scout's doing it again, and it looks like their shithouse play is coming, but the Scouts from BK are completely ready for it. Going to shut that down. Scouts going to come from underneath, even though BK have a lot of positioning. They might get crushed by the Scouts from behind now. Nuts and separated from the heels. Trying to heal up his soldiers. Rib still spamming pipes. Meanwhile, Bull's just stayed safely at choke. AMS is going to go for sort of a hero play. Can't get anything. And Bull seems to spend pretty much all of Needs mids just at his own choke, firing arrows.
Yeah, it's interesting to know actually, because, like, if I was Nutson and I was noticing this, I would just take crits for mids. Not because I want to like play passive and then crits, but if for any reason the mid fight is even and both mids are alive, like you're gonna have that crits like so much earlier than anything else is happening on this mid.
Looks like they're going to go for a forward hold here, BK, to try and slow them down. The Scout and Soldier have got through, but they're separated from the healers. They're going to try and come in now and just sort of force the issue down main. There's already a Scout on last. Rib will take him down, but Pyro drops to the point. Nice reflex to buy a bit of time, but there's just too many bodies from LDC stacking the point, and that makes it 3-2 in favour of BK still. But one back on the board for the Frenchies.
Yeah, I didn't catch how that transition went down, but it looked really sloppy for BK.
Yeah, the forward hold, I don't know, it's like they had the forward hold, but then two players got in for pretty much free, and at that point the forward hold just fell apart and they didn't really fall back quick enough. Yeah. Looks like they're going for a bit of an earlier aggression here. Rib's going to go straight down to T-Mac. They're going to deny the Soldier as well. LDC are all pinned back at their choke stick though, and here comes EK just absolutely crushing them, powering forward. Bull's by himself, going for swords, but it's of no use. Zebasai gets a slice of his own, and that's a complete wipe.
That was an interesting 15-second mid-fight. That was really, really fast.
Like, the BK Scouts like got the read of that shithouse play I've been talking about, and they kind of, so T-Mac tried to go faster and get Rib, but the rest of his team just seemed to just sit at sort of behind train and just get absolutely crushed. And now BK are already taking over top lobby, already pressure and last, already picked T-Mac. There's a heavy and a pyro on the field. They're going to uber through top left. They're trying to focus down this pyro, but they're making a massive meal of it. Bull will eventually go down. Bull goes back into spawn. They get frags pretty even so far. So I'm just going to drop down from above the point. Going to walk on it, going for slices right now, the medic, but it's not going to be enough, and that's 4-2 to BK. And I think LDC might need to try something different other than just snacking shithouse with two players.
Yeah, like these last mids, they've been going progressively more and more in favour of BK, and that one was just like summing it up. They were on top lobby before Bullet even spawned, so you know something's going wrong if that's happening.
Yeah, Rib much earlier to mid, Exon's gone balcony instead, and it looks like the whole team's going to come shithouse now, or just the Soldiers. Soldiers actually going to go aggressive onto Bull. Can't find the frag though, and they're sort of forcing them back here. They're all stuck in shithouse right now, but LDC are getting the frags, and they're going to come back up shithouse now. All over AMS, who's going to go down. Nutson's going to have to run away at choke. He's got a Soldier on him, he's going to try and surf, but he just surfs straight up in the air. Tech's going to claim the kill, and now it's Zebasai, who is surely going to try something. I think he's hiding in house.
He went to resub and got back in house in time to stab something, so he's going to wait for them to go forward and come behind.
Yeah, surely they have to be expecting something, or is Zebasai just going to go back, or is he going to try and catch him on stone? He's thinking about it, he sees the Soldier and just backs it off. And it's going to be, with Nutson only spawning now, they're only just about going to even have time for buffs as Nasuba comes in. Pyro's going to drop main, doing some nice work on Exxon. Exxon needs some backup to make Nasuba work. They will go down, Soldier's going to jump in, Nutson's in a lot of trouble, Rib's in trouble as well, he goes down, no stickies on the point, LDC getting all the frags. Good work from the flank here, but they're all the high ground, they're getting a slice, they're going to drop to the point and clean it up. It was weird there, the Pyro looked like he did a pretty good job denying Exxon on the main, but no, he just got fragged in other places.
The last hold is really uninspired at the moment. Like, they have the Pyro's doing as much as he can, but you need something else. Like, even if that Pyro denies a lot of the Uber, there's still damage that's going on the Pyro. It's a pick that's eventually going to come, and it's buffs on the other players that aren't going to come. I'll return to this point in a minute because we are on another mid, but I would like to address it later.
Yeah, 4-3 to BK right now. Here comes Scout going first from Shithouse. They're mixing it up. Soldier's going to come around now. Doesn't get too much. Only gets a Scout, but Tech's got a frag defensively as well. And BK have better numbers, but no position once again. But with that frag on AMS, Flippy's going to open the door for his Soldier and combo to come back in. Meanwhile, Nutson has fled the scene and is all the way back spawning at resupply. So they might have time for an Uber, but he's only at 60%.
He doesn't know how to change his hat. Look at him. He's just spinning. Oh wait, they capped. That's
did they cap? That's why.
Oh no.
I didn't see. Yeah, I didn't. BK always gets so much point presence.
Yeah, now he's changing hat and going back, which is exactly the right decision. I mean, they're down on Uber a little bit, but
Zappis is going for it. Bull's isolated. He's in the air. Zappis goes for the air shot, but it's not really close. I think there's a Scout behind as well, presumably Zebo. It is indeed Zebo, but they know he's there, so Zebo probably can't make a play. Gonna run through. Stickies don't debt on him. Nutson dies to Flippy.
What?
95% Uber, I didn't even see that. I was busy watching Zebasai behind, and now the Uber's going to come from main. Exxon's going to go above the point. The enemy's point that is. The rest of your team just need to repush now. I don't think do they even know Exxon's above for point? They notice now a scout runs in. They're going to try and focus down Exxon as well. The rest of the LDC soldiers come in. Exxon's going to drop from a point eventually, baits everyone there, and tie it up 4-4 now. LDC.
What a weird round, man. Like, I don't know how the hell Flippy got in. Like, last I saw Nutson was standing, you know, box down the top right. Like, if you die in that position to a scout, then something's going catastrophically wrong. I just wonder, was he trying to go forward? Was it like Zebo calling that he's behind and taking attention, and they were going to try and push off of something? That's the only way that he could have died in a reasonable way there.
Yeah, really odd one, but Nutson really struggling to stay in this game for a long periods of time. Demul's going to go down early, and look how much all this point was with BK again. LBC are going to try and upset it now with a triple jump from all their heavy clusters. 2 frags so far, but ball will go down. So little health left on LBC. They've got a couple more frags, but BK look like they've stabilised. But I think Exxon is stuck behind now, and this could mean a really late death for the French demo man. Romanian demo man, should I say.
This was a nice mid by BK. It doesn't show, like, the frags and what's going on now doesn't really show how nice it was. Like, they really completely outgamed them, but they just couldn't quite, like, they weren't clinical enough with the frags. So these 3, like, everyone was red really, really early, but there was just, like, a little bit out of sync with the scouts, I guess, because there wasn't the cleanup going on. But it was a strong mid by BK, just not followed up on properly.
Yeah, afterwards they had a really weak repush where, like, Rib tried to go shithouse by himself, but the aggression wasn't quick enough, and he just got, like, picked off before the fight even really happened. Now we're going to try and fight Spire. AMS and P going to focus down that scout, but there's a resupply push coming in. Here comes the soldier. All over Nutson once again. Nutson's going to go down. Exxon jumps in as well. They're all flooding forward now. BK have no heal and a 1 player disadvantage. They're going to keep trying to go forward though. Still not a lot of health, and it's just a matter of time. LBC just need to slow it down and take control. Down goes Rib. Zappers is trying to delay him through main. But we're going to see another uber advantage push, and I think LBC look like they might take the lead for this.
Yeah,
for the first
Rib,
time in a
Rib
while.
and Happy have made a bit of a mess of this. Like, Rib getting a little bit too greedy on main door, and Happy, I guess, was trying to sync something up with him, but it was too little too late by the time Rib had died. So another 2 down, no demo. This is going to be an easy push. Like, they can't mess us up, really.
Yeah, the Pyro's just trying to deny damage onto the medic right now, but they've just stacked points instead. BK going to collapse onto it and get 3 frags instantly. The T-Max in on the high ground, but his rockets are getting deflected again. He's going to pick Rib. In comes Tech. The Tech has so much to do, and the Pyro's just bouncing every rocket he shoots straight back at him. Tech's just going to try and buy time right now, just hiding around bottom right. I don't know why no one's just gone to kill him at this point.
He's buying so much time. What the hell are they doing?
He
like,
even picked Zebasai. Like,
that shouldn't have happened. Like, just one guy get on him. But yeah, that last push was dog shit awful. I mean, they made like pretty much the only mistake, like the only 2 mistakes you can make, where they put the medic and the demo on the point. Which during an Uber, the 2 guys you really don't want on the point because you know the demo stickies hurt him. They don't hurt his teammates. And Bull flashed this Uber off and then got reflect killed or something ridiculous like by a pyro. And just died to a rocket or something like this. Like a scout on the point, stickies on the point, a soldier on the point, stickies on the point, you win that fight and you should win it every single time, 10 out of 10 times at this level of the game. So that's a really, really bad push, and if they lose this map, they're going to look back on that push with like down hearts.
It looked like BK were going for a push out, but Flippy got a nice headshot on AMS like as soon as he peeked balcony, and that just put BK off, pushing like their sort of 25-second advantage. So now we're going to see an Uber v Uber exchange.
He's trying to sound clever, but it says it in the game.
I thought the perfect opportunity came up, you know, just feeding me the numbers. Through all of this, I think Zebasai's gotten behind, but they know he's there. I don't know what quite Zebasai's plan is. He goes down. I guess,
things, man. He doesn't have a plan. Just do things.
AMS is going to drop down and kill Exxon. Flippy's going to die to P, and they might turn us into a push right now. BK do want to go. They don't have a sniper to worry about now. They don't have a demo man to worry about.
Yeah, look at Tech. Tech's just sitting on Stonebridge. He's waiting for him to come and just to destroy them with the Uber.
Yeah, he's going. He gets a lot of damage on him. Ball's not popped yet. I'm going to start the cap. We're going to pop now so we can try and block. Rib jumps in to take all the damage from that Uber. Uber's going to be counter-popped. The cap is not going to go. It will go now if he wins the duel. Meanwhile, AMS is trying to do damage at Choke. They've got a nice couple of frags, but now Exxon should be able to shut this down to stop the BK sort of players rolling forward. But Zebasai's already flanking through health. He's trying to make that space for his team, but they're still focusing it down. AMS is going to get destroyed going through that Choke. And I'm not sure if BK can keep this pressure going.
Yeah, just too stalled too much. I mean, even with Rib down, I thought they could have kept going, but once you let them stabilize, heal up, and, you know, lock down the Choke with their other classes, it's bad news.
Wow, Zappos is getting absolutely wrecked every time he tries. Both soldiers really from BK getting wrecked every time they try and go aggressive. Zebasai's picked in house now, and this could be the end of the Spire hold for BK. And there's just under 9 minutes left currently, and we're tied up 4-4. Really close game right now, really back and forth. Exxon's going to get picked to a sticky trap in top lobby by Rib.
That's a huge pick. That's
and only 10% left before Nuts and gets Uber. I think BK should be able to hold this. I don't know if they're going to go. I think the LBC are going to go. They have Uber advantage. They're going in, but the Uber's going to be counter-popped, and they just need to leave now. They're going to chase down main. I'm not sure if this is the right choice. They're going to try and pick the Soldier. The Soldier will go down, but Pyro's away on balcony. He's not hit the Reflect, though. He might go down. Rib's trying to push as well, but I don't think they really have enough frags or enough damage to keep pushing this. We're going to keep forcing the issue top right. They do get 2 frags out of it in exchange for Rib. And there's only 3 players now as the Soldiers going aggressive, taking them down. Only for Demo and T-Mac left. They're still going forward, but the spawns from LBC are starting to come in, and BK really could do with some cap time right now.
Yeah, I think without a Demo, with this little cap time, Bull's going to spawn here. They're going to overload choke. They should just be able to completely power them out. But I don't know if they're going to do it. They really should. But Exxon's going too early.
Just crushed both of them there. Yeah, goes down.
They did it so out of sync. Like, they just had to get a little bit of buff. Exxon was standing by choke waiting for the buff rather than going to get the buff himself. Like, if he'd gone and got that buff and then gone, he could have, like, they could have overloaded. Like, didn't have to blood the Spire, just had to overtake the choke, get some frags, retake Spire, like, nice and patient. It's something this French team lacks quite often is patience. Like, there they had everything they needed to win, but they wanted to win just too quick, as we now see a push going on to mid from BK.
Yeah, T-Mac comes in from Valley, going to take out Nuts and out of the game once again, and that's going to cue LBC to start pushing forward. Yeah. Now Bull's in trouble. Franken players coming off a point. Dappers gets taken out of the air again, down to a little health. There we go. Zebasai will eventually finish it. Still dancing around underneath. He's going to get some more damage. Now Dappers is going to come in as well. Goes for the Demo Man. Oh, that was AMS even, sorry. They're wearing the same hat. How confusing.
Certainly does make it hard to tell.
Yeah, Nutson's the only one alive right now. He's going to get his spawns, but I think there's too much cap time here. I say that, here comes Rib. They're going to go for it. Soldier getting on the point. Zappis on top of it now. Ribs forced them off, and they have held on to this point. Right now we're looking at 6 minutes 40 seconds. Tied up 4-4. It can still go either way, and LBC they've kept mid and kept sort of the aggressive position, but they're really struggling to sort of finish this round off, and it's just giving BK more and more chances to push it back. And
yeah, is this the same round as that absolutely awful push? It is, right? Yeah. Like, this is like, it's quite an interesting situation they find themselves in now, because this round should have been dead and buried, like, categorically so long ago. It's going to be a real heartbreaker. I know that it is a heartbreaker anyway, but, like, yeah, it's going to be an extra broken heart.
Extra. And now, LBC trying to stack resupply. They're going to find a Zappis pick. They do have Flippy still on Sniper, and now both soldiers are coming through resupply. But they've sort of stayed at choke, and Nutson's going to drop. He didn't see the team coming behind him. Exxon's going to make Nutson drop, and that could be the end of this round. They're going to gets a couple of frags on the other side, and there is still a soldier behind AMS, but he's fighting a buff T-Mac. T-Mac's going to take that one. P is behind in house. I think he's going to go for the plug, but Exxon with a nice pipe to take him down, and surely this Spire defense is over, and perhaps the round when they start moving forward.
Don't know about that. Like, they had no scout sub. They're only just getting the cap going on now. Like, they're moving into lobby, but I mean, AMS is going to spawn. Happy is not up, but Demon will just spawn, so they're even. Until this Uber actually comes up, it's pretty like even Stevens. Flippy's spawning on heavy, so they know it. Like, they're actually playing this one quite patient, which is wise. Like, they have a small advantage. They need to make it count, though.
Yeah, it's just interesting to note. Nutson's team spent so much of this round dead. He's like 20 points. I know points aren't the biggest thing in this game, but sort of as medic, it just kind of shows how much you're actually healing.
Points don't mean shit unless you're a medic and you're not top of the scoreboard. Then something worth knowing is going on.
Yeah, like, it's just because you just get points for healing, and it just shows how much less heals BK are playing with throughout this whole sort of 25 minutes so far.
Yeah, to be fair though, that's... Oh, actually, but that push is happening, never mind.
Yeah, they're Ubering in, but Pyro's doing a lot of denial work here right now. Really nice work from P. He's going to get knocked down and fall into a heavy. The heavy's going to be saved by the medic as well. The heavy's walking down main. He's taking a long time to dive. Uber will pop off. The heavy's going to go down, and BK want to try and push it. They're going to try and be aggressive. They've got 2 frags, including from Bob, but they're going to lose the side bottom left. T-Mac's buying them some time. I'm not sure if BK can keep going. They've only got a 1-player advantage. They're still trying to make their way into upper lobby, but I'm not sure how well their flank's really being covered right now. As I think Demul's made his way into top lobby. They're taking their time. AMS is going to drop, and all this is doing is buying time for respawns to come in. Ribs on the point. They might be able to stabilise this, but there is a sniper at choke for them to worry about, and they don't really have anyone up to pressure him. They are going to get the cap, but how long it will last for will be interesting. Rib's going to get a lot of pressure on him now. He's going to get body shot before anything can happen. Flippy's going to get another one on Zeba's side, and now a scout's dropping onto Knutson, but he will go down. Flippy's just getting another frag right now.
I haven't seen Flippy miss this much in a long time, and before I could say the
Oh
words,
wow, he
it's
just
another
headshot the
headshot.
scout.
Yes, okay, there it
8
is.
HP. Flippy's going to try it as well. He will eventually go down thanks to P's aggression, and Knutson will get out, partly thanks to P's. Respect.
What does
that
mean?
So now we're going to see uber advantage for BK, but they can't really do anything of it, and they're going to try and play with Zebasai and Spy instead, so we're hoping for Zebasai to get a pick on the medic maybe, so they can turn us into a full push. Because right now there's 3 minutes 20 seconds left, and BK have been spent a lot of time on like sort of between on last. We're actually going to try and go for a push. I'm not sure if we're trying to bait it forward here. Knutson's going to drop his pocket. Zebasai is going to get the medic, but they're going to lose Zebasai as well. I don't know if that's too many frags for them to lose. And Scout's already on last. A Scout's on last and no one's there.
D-Moore was through as well. Like, both Scouts got through in 2 different ways, so really bad flank coverage there.
Yeah, well, with AMS dropping, I think more people came to Knutson to try and help the Uber. But not just with Zebasai already on Spy and dead, the flank's just weaker and weaker, and there's not as many people to cover all the entrances.
Yeah.
And 2 minutes 50 seconds left, and LBC take the lead. So here we go. Rib's going to go through choke as always. It looks like they're going for the classic shithouse stack. Zap is really aggressive, forcing out Exxon. Going to go chase him all the way out to choke. Meanwhile, BK are moving across the point, clearing up the frags. Another dominant middle from BK. Zappis is still behind, causing trouble. A lot of pressure. Tech's going to do his best to try and delay it. Ball's going to keep trying to heal him, and Tech will help get his medic out of there. And now it's 3v3 equal Ubers. All LBC need to do is just hold, really. They don't need to make any plays. They've got the lead.
Yeah,
Only
Zappis
2
is
minutes
going to be
left.
kicking himself. He was on choke behind them, 150 plus HP. Tried to rocket jump round choke to just like finish them off. Big cluster of people, including the med, and he just clips the corner of the little house, so he doesn't make it around the corner. Can only land 1 rocket. That should have been. Bull should be dead. This should have been like a much smoother process for BK.
Yeah, now it looks like they're going to go for a resupply push. They're going to lose Zebasai pretty early. Exxon's redness push completely has put so much damage down onto House. Exxon's now going to jump around. I'm not sure if that's the right move. AMS is down. He doesn't commit to it though, and he might have opened the door for LBC to push right now. But Exxon does go down. But they're coming anyway. Tech and T-Mac leading the charge all over Knutson. Knutson's going to drop again. Surely not.
Holy
Bulb's going to pop.
fucking hell.
Rib's going to try and jump out. He might save himself, but the scout underneath is trapped. Zebasai's just going to run in and try and do what he can. And wow, there's not a lot to say, is there?
Wow, that hurts, man. Hurts to see, because this defense actually started off quite nice. Like, Happy got a frag. They were going to get like a decent pop. It didn't look like it was going to be like, you know, not like a super milk. You didn't need one. The spawns were going to come in. The timing was in favor of it. There was going to be no demo on LBC when, you know, when the Ubers faded. All the spawns were in. The Exxon was going to be on last. Knutson, you've just lost the game, mate.
If I drop him around before as well, and that really opened the door from that push as well, wasn't it? Now actually, before BK looked like they're just going to try and force the issue before they have Uber. Lots of damage will go down, but they've got no real position right now. But Knutson's keeping their heals going. He's got his scouts buffed. The scouts have forced a lot of people out. Exxon's the only one with a lot of health, trying to come forward right now. Duke now with Rip will go behind Nuts. They've got the damage. LBC might lose in this fight, but they've made it messy enough, and it shouldn't matter.
Yep, I don't think it's possible now. You got to cap 3 points with 2 guys alive. Nah,
yeah, Zebasai
GG.
will clean it up, but I think that will be all. Zebasai's just going to run around and get some more frags, as Zebasai does. BK will clean up the demo man, and it's over now, really. Herpy calls GG 5-4 in favour of LBC. I said on Fully Charged last night I thought it would be messy, but LBC would come out on top. They did on the first one, but when we were watching earlier, watching Exxon stream, they did sort of crush the team they were playing Furbo Pandas on Badlands.
Yep.
And then struggle. They still won pretty comfortably, but there was a long period of struggling before that on Process.
Yeah,
Saying
I
that,
think,
I don't know
I
what
think-
BK are like on Process. So.
I think BK are okay on Process. I mean, they're not a team that has like particularly strong or weak maps. I don't think yet. It's not so defined, but I think they should keep their heads up. They have a good chance on Process to take them out. But yeah, like, I mean, this was a game of fine margins. I mean, you look at these Uber drops, but then you look at this failed push from LBC. They really should have like closed the game off 5 minutes earlier than they actually did. So I mean, as bad as I feel, like they deserved it probably. Just
Yeah. Just looking at sort of the heals as well, because I thought like, I guess it turns out it was pretty even because Knutson died 19 times, including those 2 drops. Ball died 17 times. So the only real difference is for 2 drops Knutson had where he died, obviously. And the heals are in favour of Ball, but only by like about 80 a minute, which is it's not really the biggest of margins. But,
well, you highlighted yourself, like, there was a lot of times when Knutson wasn't healing, but also on these mids, Bull was just kind of arrowing and like a bit like a stray. Like, it was a really messy game. This wasn't a game that medics enjoy to play, probably, unless you're Marilyn.
I guess the other significant thing to note is how just at the top of the damage table are all the heavies from LBC. Exxon, Ventec, then T-Mac, all hitting plus 300 damage a minute. Whereas on the other side, the only people doing that for BK are Rib and Zebasai. Zappis not putting in a lot of damage, 12 for 28. I don't remember saying Zappis's name a lot, noticing anything he was really achieving.
Yeah, no, Zappis has been billed as, like, I don't know. I won't say the next big roamer, but for someone who hasn't watched a whole lot of his play, I've heard good things, and I didn't see many good things in this game. It has to be said. But the pace of that game was probably something that takes a while to get used to, especially when you're not used to the class. So.
I think you can see the disparity really between him and T-Mac, where they both had 28 deaths, sort of expectant for a roamer, except T-Mac got 22 more kills.
Yeah.
Other than that, I guess lots of deaths all round for everyone, really. Just kind of highlights how messy the game was and how back and forth it was. And really, like, even though LBC took a long time to cap that last round, they were always at the point where they could cap the last round, They were always on the CP4 or in control of mid, They never really... BK could never really push them back any further than mid in that last sort of extended round.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, they definitely deserved it. I mean, like, I don't know. They would have felt really hard done by if they hadn't won, but they did, so...